PewDiePie and T-Series are two YouTube creators jockeying to have the most subscribed channel on the platform. PewDiePie has held that title since 2013, but T-Series, the channel for the Indian music production company, has been climbing the ranks faster than anyone can keep up. Sensing an imminent overthrow, Pew's fans have rallied together to do whatever it takes to keep their idol in place at #1. Stay tuned until the end to see what PewDiePie fans did during this year's Super Bowl. Before we begin, subscribe to PewDiePie and The Richest so we can keep you updated on the status of this feud. Now here are 11 crazy things people did so PewDiePie can beat T-Series. PewDiePie has a lot of celebrity fans who are willing to dip deep into their resources to help Pew defeat T-Series. Case in point, Justin Roberts, a member of Logan Paul's Team 10, bought PewDiePie a billboard in New York's Times Square. The billboard is one of the largest digital ad spaces in the city and is right next to where the giant ball drops every New Year's Eve. Roberts put Pew's face in the ad along with the message "Keep PewDiePie #1" on YouTube. The billboard allegedly cost $1 million, but it's not known if Roberts paid for it or if he cashed in on some favors. This wasn't Roberts' first time acquiring a billboard. He did the same thing for Team 10 in 2017. Regardless of whether he footed the bill for Pew's billboard, he made millions of New Yorkers aware of the T-Series battle, so you could say he did his part. PewDiePie has some genius supporters as well. Patrick Adair is a YouTuber and designer who created a ring that can cause YouTube on nearby phones to ask its users to unsubscribe from T-Series and subscribe to PewDiePie. We know this sounds impossible, but it works. The ring, which is red and black and designed in imitation of Pew's logo, contains a chip that utilizes near-field communication, or NFC. Near-field communication allows separate portable devices to communicate with each other without being connected. So a person can tap the ring against another person's phone to essentially hack their YouTube app in the most innocent and hilarious way. This ring isn't intended to be mass-produced. Patrick Adair disclaimed that the ring is too expensive to make more of, and that its creation was a way for Patrick to do his part in Pew's war against T-Series and to raise money for charity. This is a bit of a letdown since we can't think of a better weapon than millions of PewDiePie fans with T-Series unsubscribing rings. This next PewDiePie soldier will have a few mentions in this video. Jimmy Donaldson, known online as Mr. Beast, is a popular YouTuber who organized the most comprehensive advertising campaign of all PewDiePie supporters. A native of Greenville, North Carolina, Mr. Beast claimed to have bought every billboard in the city and plastered Pew's face on them. One of the billboards read, "Calling all bros, you can save YouTube. Subscribe to PewDiePie, unsubscribe from T-Series." He also bought ad space on trucks, posted flyers, purchased TV, radio, web, and bathroom ads, did interviews on local radio telling people to subscribe to PewDiePie, and even wandered the town letting random people know about the campaign. Nobody can accuse him of not doing his part. Mr. Beast is famous for his financial stunts, so his campaign for Pew is definitely on brand. He once tipped a waitress $10,000 after ordering 2 glasses of water, and another time he bought $50,000 worth of scratch tickets to see what he'd win. Spoiler, it was just over $32,000. But the pro PewDiePie stunts get much weirder. Mr. Beast is actually pretty practical when it comes to content creation, but other YouTubers make absurdity their top priority. Davide Beal, a YouTube guitarist who posts from the channel Davey504, flew all the way from Hong Kong to Delhi, India, to play PewDiePie's diss track in front of the T-Series headquarters. He recorded himself making his stand against the rival company and posted the video on YouTube, where he urged viewers to also take the plunge against T-Series by unsubscribing from the channel and subscribing to Pew. Davide's a true bro. Not only did he travel 2,300 miles to pledge his allegiance to PewDiePie in spectacular fashion, but he also hosted a fundraiser on YouTube where he played the track for 10 hours straight as one of the longest musical marathons ever recorded. This was done to raise Pew's subscriber count as well as his own, of course. These videos did their part. At last count, Pew's beating T-Series by about 57,000 subscribers. Not all advertising campaigns have been legal, though. The PewDiePie T-Series feud has been a smorgasbord for pro-Pewd hackers. In November 2018, 50,000 printers were hacked to print messages of support for PewDiePie. All kinds of personal and business printers were targeted for having vulnerable firmware, which the hacker, known by the pseudonym Hacker Giraffe, infiltrated and started producing 50,000 phantom prints. Luckily, he was using his talent for good and not evil. T-Series fans would, of course, disagree with this sentiment, but it's better to print messages of support for PewDiePie rather than anything more controversial. Again, T-Series fans don't see a difference, and neither do most journalists. Hacker Giraffe received a lot of publicity for his work, having gotten 25,000 Twitter followers just for hacking printers. In December, a hacker named J3WS3R took over where Hacker Giraffe left off by hacking an additional 80,000 printers. He also took down the T-Series website with a denial of service attack. A very fruitful partnership thus developed between the two hackers and Pewd fans. They did their part, and we haven't even told the half of it. For the next high-profile hack, Hacker Giraffe and J3WS3R teamed up to infiltrate 65,000 Google Chromecast streaming devices to make a pro-PewDiePie message appear on smart TVs all over America. Along with a message urging people to subscribe to Pewd, the hack screen included a picture of the YouTuber and a larger message warning people that their Chromecasts were exposed to hackers and to follow a link to learn how to solve this issue. The problem was a vulnerability in the Chromecast's router settings that made them publicly reachable. All it took to fix this was a simple update, yet hundreds of thousands of smart TV owners did not know this and were using devices that almost anyone could autonomously control. So again, the hackers used their skills for good and not evil. Still, what they did was technically illegal, so they've been keeping a low profile ever since, especially after learning that the FBI was looking for them. So they really did their part to increase PewDiePie's subscriber count. Who else would sacrifice their freedom for a half-facetious YouTube war? Let's get back to the crazy for a second instead of the crazy awesome. If you've been paying attention to memes in the last few weeks, you've probably heard of Goose Wayne Batman. Goose Wayne Batman is the pseudonym of a man named Giovanni who appeared on the February 7th episode of Dr. Phil, claiming that he was a real-life superhero. He appeared with his fiancée, who lamented her future husband's attachment to his superhero persona. Goose Wayne does not expose his face in public and instead dons a Batman mask with huge rings of eyeliner underneath. For his Dr. Phil appearance, Goose dropped the mask but still wore the eyeliner, making the whole segment patently absurd. This is where PewDiePie comes into play. An admirer of absurdity, Pewd discovered Goose Wayne Batman and made him the subject of a video. The faux Batman's popularity skyrocketed as a result of Pewd's ironic endorsement, so Goose Wayne made his own video giving his regards to the bro army. "Just found the PewDiePie community. You guys are showing me mad love in my DMs," Goose said. "I know I'm not good at YouTube and I don't have fancy filming equipment, but if the army welcomes me, I will fight this entity T-Series to the death." So support for Pewd has been coming from everywhere, including the unlikeliest places. Goose Wayne Batman was willing to pay the ultimate price to do his part. Pewd should feel lucky to have a real superhero on his side. We have to mention another pro-PewDiePie digital crime, because there are just so many of them. On December 17, 2018, anonymous fans hacked the Wall Street Journal site to display a fake article exonerating Pewd and apologizing for how he was treated. For those of you who don't know, the Wall Street Journal was very critical of Pewd. Their journalists accused him of anti-Semitism, which caused Pewd to lose his YouTube Red series, Scare PewDiePie, and for Disney's digital network to drop him as a client. T-Series was listed as the author of the fake article, which said Wall Street Journal would like to apologize to PewDiePie. Due to misrepresentation by our journalists, those of whom have now been fired, we are sponsoring PewDiePie to reach maximum subscribers and beat T-Series to 80 million. We also need your credit card number, expiry date, and the lucky 3 digits on the back to win the chicken dinner in Fortnite. Employees of the Journal were quick to delete the post, so you could say that they didn't do their part. So far, we've talked about endorsements from crazy YouTubers, crazy hackers, and a legitimately crazy pretend superhero. But we have yet to mention the craziest endorsement of all. This one comes from Elon Musk. This is crazy simply because one of the most high-profile people in the world has sided with PewDiePie against T-Series. So has Justin Roiland, one of the creators of Rick and Morty. Both celebrities hosted a segment of PewDiePie's series, Meme Review. Musk made the announcement on Twitter on February 18, 2019. There's no no way that Musk, Roiland, and their respective fan bases won't help with Pew's subscriber count. We wonder if this episode of Meme Review is Pew's ace in the hole, which he'll release if T-Series comes within a few subscribers of his total. We've saved the best, and we mean craziest, hack for last. In January 2019, a hacker who calls himself SideFX tapped into dozens of Nest brand security cameras and requested users to subscribe to Pewdiepie. Since he had control of both Nest's cameras and microphones, he asked people with his own voice to hit that subscribe button. And since he could see their every movement, he had them hold their phones up to the camera to prove that they were subscribed. These hacks were accomplished with credential stuffing, a process in which a hacker reuses passwords that were uncovered during other breaches and hopes that they work on a new target. This time, Nest was the target, and since the company didn't have two-factor login authentication, many of the passwords worked to give the hacker instant access to people's private lives. SideFX admitted that he had cracked the login codes of over 4,000 Nest users and had access to 300 cameras. Though this breach definitely wasn't ethical, SideFX did it for the lulz and to do his part in the war against T-Series. He plans to switch to ethical hacking in the future. We don't know who gets to decide what kind of hacking is ethical, but we don't want it to be a guy who makes people subscribe to Pewdiepie. On second thought, maybe we do. That was the last hack we'll mention, but we still have to talk about the biggest stunt done on PewDiePie's behalf. As everyone knows, the Super Bowl is the most watched broadcast on American TV every year. More Americans tune into the football game than the population of the Philippines. Knowing how many people will be watching, companies pay more than $5 million for 30 seconds of ad space. This is what MrBeast was planning to do for PewDiePie. Remember MrBeast? The guy who decked out an entire city in PewDiePie ads? Well, before 2019's Super Bowl, he decided he'd sell Subscribe to PewDiePie t-shirts to raise enough money for a 10-second ad during television's biggest event. However, plans changed when the YouTuber realized that the ad would probably be rejected even if he had the money. So for Plan B, MrBeast and 4 of his friends bought tickets to the game and became PewDiePie billboards for the full 3.5 hours. They sat directly behind the Los Angeles Rams field goal and each wore shirts that read, when put in the correct order, sub to PewDiePie. So the fivesome got a decent amount of camera time. The shirts were visible in the CBS broadcast during the last seconds of the game and were captured in a photo ESPN tweeted of Steven Gostkowski missing the 46-yard field goal. MrBeast came through yet again. All that's left for us to say is, good job, MrBeast. Pew's subscriber count would not be as high without you. And that's all for 11 crazy things people did so PewDiePie can beat T-Series. Do you think that Pewds can stay on top? Let us know in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to The Richest. Oh, and PewDiePie.